Hello, thank you for joining us for the second session of the 2024 Acunet Back Pocket webinar. I'm Jeffrey Morin, the Acumatica Implementation Project Manager for Acunet, here with my friend and coworker, Becky.
Hi, I'm Becky Kukas, and I'm the Director of the ERP Business System Services here at Acunet.
And we are happy to be joined by the Project Manager team of Tracy and Mike.
Hello, I'm Tracy Jones. I'm the Director of Sales for Project Manager.
Hi there, I'm Mike Riegelsberger. I'm a Senior Account Executive with Project Manager.
And thank you both for joining us. And what perfect timing for this session, as Acumatica just announced yesterday that they will be releasing the Professional Services edition of Acumatica. And a very large part of that edition will be the tools provided by Project Manager. And as we understand, it's probably a whirlwind of activity for you guys over at Project Manager, getting ready for the release of this Professional Services edition.
Yes, it has been certainly quite the whirlwind of activity getting ready for the announcement, and then all the work to follow in positioning this as a prime edition for the professional services industry.
And we're so excited to offer some insight on the Project Manager solution to help out those businesses who need greater visibility into projects. Both Becky and I have worked in project-centric organizations for like years prior to consulting, and we're anxiously awaiting the release of this new edition of Acumatica. As we will now...
Yeah, I could say I've been waiting for 5 years at least for now, a long time.
Yeah, and Acumatica is a strong product, but could use some additional functionality, and now has that with Project Manager. That is an impressive solution that expands the power of Acumatica Projects, as you will see in this webinar. So just some housekeeping here. If you have any questions as we go through this demo, please feel free to enter those in the chat, and we will cover those at the end of the demo and the final slides that we share. And after the webinar today, what we'll do is we'll do a drawing for the gift card, and we'll email the winner that Amazon gift card, so you'll have that. But again, thank you all for joining us for this presentation. And before we go any further, Becky, do you want to share a little bit more about Acunet?
Sure. Okay. So Acunet, we've been around for about 30 years, and we have two divisions. The ERP Business Services Division, which has been implementing and supporting primarily Dynamics SL since 1989. Oh, here, I got to get a couple more people are joining.
I got him.
Oh, okay. All right. So I said, and so we've been doing that. So now we've been implementing Acumatica since 2012. We were one of the first partners of Acumatica. We have customers all over the US, and some of our customers have international divisions. Our IT Services Division, the other half of our business, offers full service managed service plans for your technology needs. The major difference is their customer base is just in the Columbus, Ohio area. So I invite you all to explore our website and discover our capabilities. All right, so, oops. Yes. So what Acunet really does, who we really are problem solvers. Our customers, we help by increasing their return on their investments and better process improvements. Most of us on the team, we're customers and users of the products that we support. So it just comes natural for us to be customer service driven. Okay, Jeff, going back to you.
Sure, thanks, Becky. And now we'd like to introduce you to the Project Manager team officially, Tracy and Mike, who will introduce you to Project Manager. And together, then we will take you through a tour of the product via scripted demo after the intro here.
Thank you, Jeffrey and Becky. Mike's going to share the slides, and now they're coming up. So first of all, thank you for inviting us to today's webinar. As we mentioned earlier, we're certainly excited to be partnering with Acumatica. Certainly want to thank all the attendees. We know everybody's busy, but we hope you're as excited as we are. As Becky said, she's been waiting 5 years for this, so we are launching and moving forward. Just a little bit of background on kind of how we got here today and why we partnered with Acumatica. Within the project management space, there is a lot of software out there. It's mostly a standalone solution for project managers to create and manage their projects, but then typically they have to uh, export data out and share reports. And other key stakeholders, such as finance, accounting, other areas of the company, they don't have day-to-day insight to those projects. So we partnered with Acumatica. As you know, they have a very strong ERP system, but the project management part was missing. So we've created a two-way bi-directional live connector. We'll be showing you that today, that allows project managers to manage their projects, but then give the visibility to other key stakeholders on a real-time basis. So why are we connecting the systems? Project managers are typically managing their resources, forecasting. They are sharing updates, milestones, information like that. And then as you see in the third box there, enhancing that visibility and collaboration. So the connector is going to allow all the key stakeholders to have day-to-day visibility, into the project status. And from there, it allows everybody to make more data-driven decisions, more real-time decisions as they move forward with not only a specific project, but a portfolio of projects. And we'll be going into this in further detail as we do the demo. But as you can see, we are syncing a number of key data points. So typically with a project, you're assigning tasks to individuals. You're tracking those tasks. Where do they stand on their task? You'll be able to keep time in Project Manager and sync it into Acumatica or vice versa. So we have a lot of flexibility there. Keeping track of resources. Who are they? What are they doing? Many times in professional services, you're going to have third parties that need access to the project, maybe a customer, maybe a vendor. So the solution has that flexibility to help you manage those resources, whether they're internal or external. And then certainly the key data points on a project, the fields, the work breakdown structure, the task, you're going to see it on both sides within Project Manager and within Acumatica now. Next slide, please. So a little bit about Project Manager and our tool. We were founded in 2008, so we've been in the marketplace as a project management software solution for 16 years. We have over 3,000 customers. Our top industries, as far as our customer base goes, are professional services, construction, manufacturing, and information technology. But you'll also find that within many companies, multiple teams are using our solution. And by that, I mean, we may be working with a construction company and their HR team or marketing team will use our solution. Professional services, the consultants and the marketing teams may be using our solution. So it can be used, for very specific teams or across multiple teams. And ultimately, it's just that real-time access, reporting, and tracking that you're going to get between our solution and Acumatica. Next slide, please. I think we're going back to Jeff.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So let's get started with the scripted part of the presentation. And it's really just a way to make this more of an interactive demo and not just a how-to session. Becky and I would be playing the role of two project managers of Eventu, an event planning and presentation company that engages individuals, charities, and corporations and assists with all aspects of event planning, presentation, and follow-up. So if you want to go ahead and share your screen then for the demo, we can get started with the script. So I am Joe, a co-CEO and project manager at Eventu, where we are one crazy, creative, mid-sized company that assists with planning and presentation of events in the Midwest. And the projects I manage are more of the corporate elite projects. And I'm here with Marcy. Marcy, you're muted, by the way.
I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I was so excited to see this software. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm Marcy, the other CEO, the co-CEO and project manager, and I handle like individual weddings, anniversaries, and other charity events. We are the founders of this company, and we've been in service for 10 years now. We have tripled in size since COVID and recently made the switch to Acumatica to better manage our projects from staff time, employee expenses, billing, and other types of allocations.
And that's been great for financials, but it really has not been able to meet all of our needs for all of the other functions of our projects. We want greater real-time insights into things like scheduling, workflow building, and to better capture all expenses related to our events.
Yes, resource management is so important as oftentimes we're pulling in not just staff, but other vendors to assist in these events.
And we would also like to better forecast and have the abilities to forecast these projects for these events so that we can true up the gaps in what we charge our clients and what we have to write off as just company expense.
Yeah, we've heard wonderful things about Project Manager from Acunet and our VAR, who has helped us get operational on Acumatica.
And we understand that Acumatica has pulled Project Manager into the Professional Services Edition, and that's very cool. So give us a look if you wouldn't mind showing a demo of the product. And we will let you go through that demo and then follow up with some questions from what we see today.
Great. Well, thank you, Joe. On your screen there, you should see Project Manager and on my portfolio dashboard. So just from a little navigate our roadmap for today, I'm going to review some of the portfolio tools. Now, Project Manager is a very powerful project management tool, but it is also a portfolio management tool. So the tool gives those stakeholders those at-a-glance views in real time on how projects are performing. Here on my dashboard, I have widgets on overall health of the projects. Again, giving those stakeholders that at-a-glance view so they could quickly review how different projects are moving along and make decisions whether they need to get into, specific project details where they might see some of those red flags or amber flags there around across the projects. In addition, certainly quickly view the progress of those projects, where they were planned to be versus where they're at today. Again, the overall time, costs, budgets, and workload within those projects. In addition, this dashboard can easily be filtered down to subsets of projects. So very easy to refine the dashboard to specific groupings. So if I want to just get and view my event projects, again, Project Manager can be used across many industries. So organizations can certainly use it for event planning, for construction, for internal IT projects. So very easy to segment those projects and be able to drill into those specific sets of projects here. As you see, I've drilled into my event project so I can quickly see how those subsets of projects are performing. Certainly in addition to and by the way, I just mentioned nothing your customers need to do to set up this dashboard. They really just need to set up their projects and manage their projects, and these things will easily pre-populate themselves. In addition to the dashboard, certainly at the portfolio, we have a strong set of reporting within Project Manager. You have ability to report at a portfolio level across projects, within also individual projects on their status. Again, as you saw in the slides, a big piece of Project Manager is managing your resources, the tasks across those resources, potentially timesheets, availability, workload, and variance reports to report on what you plan versus what were the real outcomes of your project, so you can tighten up and learn from those prior projects. Also, in addition to the reporting, Project Manager here also has ability to manage workload. This is a workload view across all my resources. Now, these resources can be people, places, and things. This workload view is easily helping me identify resources, subsets of resources that have availability based on their unique work schedule, but also helps me identify maybe where I'm creating bottlenecks on my many projects. So I can see certain projects, certain individuals with red boxes there. Certainly that's showing me that they've been over assigned based on their unique work schedule. And so I can take action before we reach those states where that are crucial. And I can certainly look at this, add resources, adjust my plans right from the screen as well. Also at the portfolio, we have some roadmap tools for planning purposes, allowing your team members to drill into the full Gantt of multiple projects at a time. This helps in that planning, making sure I'm not overlapping critical stages or teams across multiple projects. So a lot of great features at the portfolio level. At this point, I'm going to now talk about individual projects. Marcy, before I jump into that, do you have any questions?
Oh, yes. Some of the milestones we have for my engagements are first meeting with couple to plan, gather up ideas for themes, flowers, foods, music, and venues. Once we have that, we reach out to our subcontractors to seal the deal. How does Project Manager assist and keep track of all of this along with employee staff?
Great. Well, I think it's best we jump into individual projects here and show you exactly how you can manage that. Let's first start with how do you set up new projects in Project Manager? Certainly with the integration, your projects can start in Acumatica in project accounting, and that with the integration, the integration would send that project into Project Manager to set it up. That's one way to set up new projects. Certainly there are other ways. You can certainly start projects in Project Manager and have them go the other direction as well. We provide a lot of flexibility from our end and ability to import project files. Again, that import today with Acumatica. We also give you the ability to create and manage templates. So with your many projects there, Marcy, you can certainly utilize some of our pre-built templates in the system. As you see here, we certainly have marketing and event planning templates pre-built in the system. Certainly, as mentioned, the tool is utilized for other professional services, IT, manufacturing, and construction as well. So you can certainly choose one of our pre-built templates, modify it to your needs to capture all those details, or you can start with a blank slate to do that. But once you do it once, Marcy, you can save that template as your own custom template. So once you build out your specific plan, you can have as many pre-built templates in here to really create efficiencies for starting up projects. I'm going to jump
That sounds
into
cool. I love templates, definitely.
Fantastic. So let's jump into a specific project that I have some data in here. So let's talk about the various options for managing your projects, creating tasks, and tracking. Project Manager, for those project managers to manage those projects, we have multiple project views in the system. As you see here, I have one of the most popular views up, our Gantt view. The Gantt view is functional. You can add tasks right from the Gantt, right to the Gantt. So I could, say, oh, I need to create an additional task here. I can add that task. I can give that task a name right from my view. I can adjust that task to where its duration right from my screen here. I can also create my dependencies between my tasks right from the Gantt on dragging and dropping that dotted line. So it's very flexible in being able to work and manage your tasks right from this view as well. As mentioned, there are other views in Project Manager. So for those users that love the Kanban board, there's also a Kanban board within Project Manager. We certainly also have a list view of the project, a sheet view, a data sheet view, a calendar view of the project. So however your team likes to manage their projects, we can support those various views as well. Also, in addition, managing those resources is certainly very important. So whether you're working from the board view or from the sheet view, or again in the Gantt view, I can add my resources and assign them to these various tasks. So simply by clicking into the task itself, based on the date range of those specific tasks, now the system within the individual project is showing me what resources I have available to work the specific task based on the date range of that task. So as I hover over my various resources, I can see who has availability to work that task on that date range. I can see some of the users that have reduced hours. As I hover over there, I can also see what other projects and tasks are on in case I want to go move something around to get them on this particular project at this time. So again, multiple tools for managing the resources, their availability, their workload. Earlier we looked at the workload view. This is the view of scheduling right within the individual project as well. Very helpful for our customers there to be able to manage those resources right within the plans itself too. In addition, then at the individual project level, there is an individual project dashboard. Everything updates in real time, so I can see, how my overall budget on this, my planned costs, which are the breakdown of resource or labor costs, as well as task costs. And then in real time, as I'm incurring actual costs, the system will keep me up to date on both those labor and task costs there. Project Manager also certainly allows the team members, the project team, to manage documents on their project. So documents can be supported. They can drag and drop those documents as needed. They can create file folders. They can set up restrictions on who has access to these documents. And documents can also be attached at the task level. So when your individual users are assigned tasks, they're going to get alerts. They're going to be, of those tasks. The system provides both email alerts as well as in-app notifications to notify those team members of their task assignments, documents, hey, past due reminders to complete their timesheets if they're doing that on our end, certainly as well. Now, those team members that work the tasks, they're not going to work from the plan. If they're assigned tasks, we try and make it real simple for those team members to access their task information. So once they're assigned their tasks and the project's off and running, for those users that are assigned those tasks, they'll be really driven into this home screen to work their tasks. Certainly they have some simplified views of what's due today and this week, project pulses on their specific projects that they're admitted to, just giving them insight how things are performing. And then they also have here on their home screen this active work stream. This is a communication stream among team members that is in real time. So again, as team members need to collaborate, they can do that in real time right from within the platform. So if I'm a team member that is assigned a task, I can simply I'll get those alerts. I see today for my event, my big charity event, I have to finish up my guest list there. So simply can open up my task card on what I need to do. I can progress as I work through this task, I can progress this and update my percentage complete on my task that I'm assigned to right from within the task card. This updates the plan in real time so my project managers have that visibility. I can also log hours right from my task card. So if I want to include my hours of what I've spent on this, I'll just add that I'm certainly met my obligation on the planned hours there, add those in and save those hours there as well. Certainly ability to progress this down to a done state, but Project Manager also provides workflow and automation. So a rule could be set up on this particular task that I have the ability to work my task all the way up to a certain stage. And in this example, I have a rule that says once I put it into ready for approval, now the task gets reassigned to my manager or the project manager, whoever is designated, to review the work that I've done and officially complete the task for me. Or again, I could do that myself based on how the settings are set on the task workflow. And then if I have questions, right from my task card is where I can communicate or collaborate with the team members. I can add general comments for the team members to review, or if I have a question or a comment for a specific team member, I can add them and they will get alerts of those comments and be able to log into their homepage to review those questions or comments there. Once I'm done with my task, I'm going to move along with my day, but certainly Project Manager will pre-populate timesheets on any of the input on those hours. So there I see some tasks that I've had to work this week, my log time against those. I can certainly adjust my time. I can add non-project time or administrative time onto these timesheets and submit these to my managers for approval. And then certainly we also have a third view for scheduling and team member visibility. This is an individual team member view. This provides me the ability to often used for my Monday morning stand-ups for my meetings, so for my projects. So I can meet with my team members on Monday. I can review the progress across their various projects and tasks. Hey, if somebody's not getting to something, it's as easy as dragging and dropping this task out to another user to reassign the task off. All right. So this is, Joe, this is kind of really what I had to show you on the project manager side here today. Any questions?
Well, I have to say this looks absolutely fantastic. I love the depth and that everything is interconnected to get a full view of each project. It's like nothing is missing. It's very slick. So thanks for sharing what you did so far. I do have a few questions, and I think Marcy does as well. So did you want to start, Marcy?
Yeah, so this is a great product. I see that you can schedule employees and work on projects in Project Manager. My question is, does the employee have to be assigned to the project in Acumatica or just in Project Manager? Because,
oh, go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
I was going to say, because, let me explain why I need that. Okay, so because what we do have the option to turn on restrictions when we want to add employees that we want to work on a project, but we don't use that feature in Acumatica.
Oh, that's not a problem, Marcy. The employee does not have to be assigned to the project in Acumatica. The employee would only need to be assigned to the project in Acumatica if that restriction was turned on. Okay, and the primary purpose for that, if you had the restriction turned on, would be for the time card syncing. But yeah, in your situation, not a problem.
Okay, great. Good. I know you covered reports, but is there a report that shows budget versus actual that includes the resources future time, like a forecast so we can better anticipate how we're doing?
Yes. So specifically, I would recommend our project plan reports. Let me just show you where that's at over in the planning. So we have a project plan report. You have a lot of data elements that you can add into those reports. Certainly, you got actual planned hours, durations, you have remaining hours there. So very easily to toggle through reports to get that detailed information that you're looking for.
Fantastic. I think that's real important for Marcy, as like I think a lot of her projects tend to go over budget. That's how projects work sometimes. So is that all the questions that you have, Marcy?
I'm good for now, but my projects don't go over that.
All righty. I was just wondering about resource assignment. I know you showed that, but can you show that functionality once more? We have employees who work on projects, and we have vendors who also work as subcontractors on these projects. So We don't have the ability to assign them necessarily in Acumatica, but can we do that in Project Manager?
Oh, absolutely. So certainly within Project Manager, you can add anyone you want to Project Manager. It is project specific security in Project Manager. So I've just come over to invite my invite my resources. So a resource or person can be anyone internal or external. So I can set that person up to have access. I can define it. Project Manager is a roles-based system. So I can define what the role of that person or subcontractor would be in this case. So in this case you described, they'd really be a member. That's somebody that's really only going to use the system for, working task information. So number one, I set them up in the system as a member. I can then assign them to that specific project so that they could only have access to that specific project. Now, a member role really limits the capabilities of what they can perform and access in the system. So that's an ideal situation for those subcontractors, then to limit and just give them access to their specific project. Once you've added them, and again, back in the individual project there, then if you're going to assign them tasks, so again, within the multiple views, whether it's the Gantt or sheet view, I can add them to their specific task then and find that resource. I can categorize or create teams. So for your subcontractors, I'd recommend setting up a team of subcontractors so that you can choose from those sets of subcontractors when you're looking to assign a specific one into a task. And then even on the reporting then, back to the reporting, you can report again against all that. And certainly if I look at my task reports, for example, I could select just my subcontractors that I want to report on and their progress against their tasks, whether they need to provide timesheets, as well as even I can manage the availability of those subcontractors as well. So hope that answers your question there, Jeffrey.
It does, yeah. Thanks for sharing that again with me. So I think that's crucial for our business. This all looks fantastic, but what about the back end? How does it connect to Acumatica, and is it always current? Acumatica issues like new releases, and we implement at least one of those a year. So I just want to make sure that Project Manager stays current with what Acumatica is doing.
Absolutely. Let me just get back to my slides here. I have a few slides that we can walk through here for today's purposes.
All right.
So number one, I'm now showing the screenshots as Acumatica, which I think you're very familiar with.
Right.
When we install the connector here on the main menu, you will also see a Project Manager tab within the main screen there of Acumatica. When the sync is being set up between the two systems, you or the customer has the opportunity to determine how often the sync occurs up to real time. Okay. And sync is bi-directional. There's certainly there's pre-built, options also in terms of which data flows in what direction. So a lot of those are all set up during the engagement of the installation of the connector there. Okay. In addition, let's drill into this a little further. Once that sync is set up, you can sync the Project Manager projects with project accounting or vice versa. Okay, so that and you can certainly have the opportunity to decide whether you want to sync all projects with project accounting and project manager, or just select projects. So that's certainly an easy to use user option when you're setting that up. In addition, again, within the project manager tab there, you get full project, metadata information that's come out of Project Manager right within Acumatica. So I can see client, budget, and then even jump off points if the person within Acumatica wants to dive directly into Project Manager and that specific project there. updating, you can update projects from inside project accounting also. So again, that as mentioned, it is a bi-directional. So information can be updated here and would flow back into Project Manager as well. Joe, Marcy, back to you.
Yeah, that looks great, the connectivity, and I imagine it's just going to be a process of mapping, so we know what's happening where.
Pardon me, Joe. I skipped a couple slides there. I think I jumped ahead. I just want to point out also a couple more slides here.
All right.
Certainly the syncing of the time cards and approvals can be done within here as well, and certainly syncing all those tasks and any custom data fields as well. Great, thank you, Jeffrey. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay, well, to me, it looks fantastic. I love the product altogether. So, Marcy, do you have any other thoughts?
Yeah, that brings me to the question of next steps. I want this product.
So do I. And I know it's going to be included in Professional Services edition of Acumatica, but what are the next steps as far as if a client is interested in your product?
Yeah, really at this point, the next step would be, if they're interested, is that we at Project Manager would work with you, the VAR, to set up the proposal and the cost estimate so that you can share it with your customer and move the opportunity forward.
Perfect. Let me share a final slide here so that everyone has the information they need. If you need to get in touch with us, Becky or me, we'll be able to, our information is here. And if you need to get in touch with Tracy or Mike, the information is here as well. So you can jot that information down. Becky, you want to continue with what our process is? I mean, after this?
Yes. So if you're interested in like maybe a deeper dive in Acumatica, we can assist you with that. Some people here on this webinar probably may not even have Acumatica yet also, and they want more information about how professional services and Acumatica work together with Project Manager. Then we just reach out to our email addresses and that are on the slide here, and we can offer a free discovery session and a demo of Acumatica that will be custom to your needs.
Okay, well, perfect. So thanks again, Project Manager team, Mike and Tracy, and thank you, Becky, for participating in this kind of fun and not so conservative presentation of the product. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stop the recording, and then we can open it up to the questions. I see that there were a few that were in the chat area. So
yeah, go ahead and use the chat if anybody has any questions. The first one we have,